Hello, I am Juan Luis Riquelme, professional prepared international and nationally, and I manage a portfolio of about $250,000. The purpose of this conversation is not a recommendation of purchasing shares, but is I am trying to help you to take your own decisions about the stock of Latam Airlines. As many of the investors or all of them have heard during the last days, as of today, Thursday, November 25, 2021, excuse me, the Deutsche Bank published yesterday that the stock from the company is for the moment with the target price of 1 cent. Then it's interesting to speak about this company that is has the characteristic that in the strategy aspect they have several features that give them special some attributes. For example, in the commercial area, they may exhibit, as this publication says, that they are celebrating. They did it already with a code-share agreement with Delta Airlines, and usually over several decades, the company has offered to their customers agreements for alliances with One World and another similar ones that let the passengers travel to all over the world, many times with direct flights to all the continents of the world, and in another occasions with cooperation with another major important airlines in the world. In the maintenance and engineering matter, Latam Airlines is probably the only, I am not sure about this, the only or one of the very few companies in Latin America with FAA 1 category. That it means that may engineer or repair aircrafts with November register. That it means that is all the time and several times in the year people from professionals from FAA travel to the maintenance base in Santiago to inspect very thoroughly the aircraft that may accomplish the most important and very detailed specifications, and if not, the travel an aircraft cannot departure. In the Porter strategy analysis, we may say that is very well aligned the costs with the incomes, because this this possibility of have the highest standards in engineering and maintenance, and also the characteristic that of offering good commercial possibilities and variety to the passengers originates a bigger cost that the company may successfully transform in a bigger price because of the good perception that the prestige and the several distinctions that the company has got over decades, and then is very well considered by the passengers that prefer this company because of these characteristics. Today, the price went to 907 Chilean pesos. That is about 1 point something dollars, and the target is 1,292 Chilean pesos. That is about 1.1 excuse me, about 1.3 or 1.4 dollars. I forgot to put this in with the we may change very fast to have it in. Let's see if we may have it. Okay, 135 and 225 the target. The beta is high because is true because of the volatility, and in this moment the price is 135, but we may see that in the last 5 years went to $17, and in history has been in $30 in 29, but because of the current situation of all the tourism and all the airlines situation is now in close to lowest of history. Some important numbers are that the price to book number is 11.77, but later we'll see that there is another number that is more believable in the next website that we will look back. But I wanted to show you in case you want to see this. Profit margin and operating margin are highly negative now, as every airline in the world probably. The current ratio is 0.22. That is consistent with the same amount, the same number that we will see in another publication. Then is very trustable. And the payout ratio is 0% because since they are not distributing dividends this year, the dilution of shares is something important to see. When a company issues more shares over the years, this is not good, because when a company issues more shares, if it does it importantly, it means that the stockholder is owner of a lower amount or a lower proportion of the society, and for that reason will receive a lower a lower portion of the profits in the next years. Then the increase of the price from the stock will be every time worst. But happily, we may see here that the shares issued, that are all of them ordinary, they are not, they don't have preferred shares. We may see that every year they present the same amount, 606 million shares. That is a positive thing that we may say, together with what we said about that they are a very important and very good and very successful company that is in this moment in a difficult situation. The valuation of the company is very below the fair value. The share price of about $1.35 is highly below the fair value, as we see here, that is this is about $9. Then for this reason, this page, it says that the stock is undervalued in 86.8%. Is another positive thing to mention, because probably you will not feel very comfortable buying a stock that will be very high in comparison with the fair value in books. We will see now the insiders. The insiders are important people inside the company. For example, a director from the board of directors or important executives that it may be sold, maybe sell or maybe buy stocks. And this is important because this is a company that in this moment is with important financial problems. But if we see here that in 12 months not any single executive or director has sold important amounts or maybe no amount of shares, this is indicating that we may trust that there are not some hidden or desperate maneuvers to escape from the investment. Maybe because they trust that the evolution from the stock in the future may be favorable. Also, we may verify here some another information that we see. I wanted to demonstrate that the ratio, the current ratio that we saw in the other publication is okay. The current ratio, it's convenient to say that is the a ratio corresponding to the total current assets that are the cash and the cash equivalent that the company has to that may have available immediately to pay current liabilities that are obligations within the year. Then maybe in 12 months, or maybe a liability of that may pay in 1 hour or in 1 day. That are the current liabilities. And 2 million over 10 million, this is in billions really, is the 0.22 that we saw in the Yahoo Finance. But is very bad. But in the long term is interesting to check that the long-term assets that are other assets as the aircrafts, mainly that they are very big in that, are very they are very important, of 12 billion, about 50% more than the liabilities of long term. The liabilities of long term are obligations that, for example, long term loans with banks, mainly probably because suppliers typically, and I would say that 100% of the times, are short term or current liabilities. But this is very important because maybe if we'll take time for travel and for tourism or for related businesses in the industry make money, maybe here the company has good amount of money in the aircrafts or other assets. And finally, would like to show some forecasts of the analyst showing that the company may increase in earnings and in income for the future. For some reason, the company is very well considered in this publication, indicating that the earnings, the earning is the result of the incomes against the total costs, and what the final result are the earnings. And the forecast is the 85% from Latam versus 73.3 from industry. This is the other average of other airlines, and the market only 6.6. And this is very logical because many other industries are since months or about a year making money already. And the forecast of the revenue, this is the first line, the sales. The company is 38, the industry 27, and the market 6.4. Again, for some reason, maybe for the characteristics that we exposed at the beginning, the company is well considered, and it's good to say that, to have an equilibrium in the decision that maybe you are asking. Maybe you are wondering if I advise to buy this stock. Well, I personally did it. I have a small position. I have just about 11% in stocks. I am planning to rise to 15 or 20% because it's very interesting for me. It's very funny. It's very fun. And but in this stock, I am for the moment just with a small part, maybe 1% or 0.5% from the percentage that I have in stocks. Is small, but I think that all the travel industry will grow importantly, very importantly. For that reason, I started to invest, and I am waiting for the news from tomorrow or today already, because it's more than 12 now. And if you want, if you believe, and if you can do your own analysis and you arrive to the conclusion that you like this stock, do it. Trust in your analysis and don't let other people that maybe may envy your the possibility of invest or do something good with your life. Do it. If you feel happy and you feel that you did a good analysis and you trust in the stock, do it. Well, if you like this presentation, you would be, I would encourage you to let me know that someone saw this analysis. You could choose to give a like to the video and subscribe to my channel, to because in that way I will feel more comfortable to provide to help with another revision of another stock. Good night.